You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
I'm Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Wow, that sounded beautiful. You guys didn't know I had that good of a voice, huh, when I sing. It sounds pretty normal when I normally don't do it, but then when I sing, it's that operatic soprano type voice that comes out, or whatever that is. I don't know. I flunked second grade, folks. No, that's actually an opera singer we hired last week to come do the soundbite for the show, because I'm sick of doing it after 15 years. And I love you guys as much as possible. I love you when you come up to me and go, thechrisvossshow.com. But now you can sing it in operatic voice. And if not, I'll just ignore you, which is pretty much what I do anyway. But we love you. The Chris Voss Show is a family that loves you and doesn't judge you, all the way from Chris Voss Landia, the Chris Voss Studios, wherever the hell that is. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. They won't give me directions or let me know where the secret location is. But they just blindfold me and drag me here. But guys, we, for 15 years, have been bringing you the smartest minds, the most brilliant people, the billionaires, the CEOs, the inventors, the entrepreneurs, the Pulitzer Prize winners, the astronauts, the people who advise presidents, and some idiot with a mic who's me. So there's that. We do all that. We have a gentleman on the show, Michael C. Hutchison. He's a doctor. So we're going to be doing a lot of doctor. We're going to play doctor on the show. How's that sound? I don't know about that. I don't think he's in for that. I think it's in his rider. He won't. He is the CEO and inventor of a device that's called PowerPlus Mouthguard. And we're going to get into it and find out maybe how it can make your life better, improve your life, or maybe someone you know. Dr. Michael Hutchison is a practicing dentist in Traverse City, Michigan. He's been in private practice specializing in cosmetic and neuromuscular dentistry since 1987. In 2001, he was one of the first 125 dentists worldwide awarded accreditation in the Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry. He is the inventor of the PowerPlus Mouthguard that has revolutionized mouthguard technology in the 21st century. He discovered the relationship of physiologic jaw positioning to increase athletic performance and reduce the G-force impact found in concussions. He was awarded a medical utility patent for all of North America, Canada, and Mexico in 2015. He didn't get Guam for some reason. I don't know why, but he's probably working on that. He continues to research. Guam's part of America, dummy. He continues to, I don't know. I just pulled it out of my ass. It was like, it was there. He continues to research concussion safety and leading the way to help athletes play better and safer, which disappoints my 1970 Raiders at all times, because we love giving concussions. But that's another story. Welcome to the show, Dr. Hutchison. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. Appreciate it.
There you go. I'm a Raiders fan, if you can't tell me. I kind of miss the days where people would kind of intend to hurt each other on the field, but what are you going to do? So give us a .com. Where can we find out about the PowerPlus Mouthguard on the web?
You can go to PowerPlusMouthguard.com and you can find anything that you need to know about it. And you can also order one there and it'll come to you in a couple of days.
There you go. And you invented this out of your experience as a doctor. Give us like a 30,000 overview what it is, and kind of give us a description, if you would, for, most people are going to listen to the podcast on the audio. So if you give us like a detailed explanation of a 3D diagram that people can image in their head, that'd be great. Take a half an hour if you want.
Of course. So if you look at mouth guards that are out there, did you ever wear a mouth guard when you were?
I think in football
younger?
When I was in high school.
And did you like it?
A couple years ago, yeah. No, it was kind of annoying. It was kind of like you got this thing in your mouth and you were like, I'm going to swallow this and choke on it and die.
Probably not, but it's very uncomfortable. You can't talk, you can't breathe. And that's pretty much the state of the art of historical mouth guards. In fact, they were really started in 1950 by the American Dental Association, because Life magazine wrote an article about Notre Dame football players breaking their teeth. So they came up with a mouth guard to keep them from doing that. And 73 years later, we still have that same mouth guard. But PowerPlus Mouthguard is on the lower teeth, which is the most important thing about this physiology technology. And it's also important how thick it is. And the main thing, though, is physiologic jaw position. Each one of us have a unique, personal to us physiologic jaw position.
Really?
That's so important, right? And that's really how we kind of came to be, because again, we were talking about temporomandibular joint syndrome. And in order to eradicate and cure that, you must put your jaw in that physiologic jaw position. So Mouthguard came out of working with TMJ patients and discovering that physiologic jaw position has a positive effect on your body.
Wow. That reminds me, years ago with my mortgage company, we had a guy who had TMJ and he had some surgery done, and he claimed he couldn't make his mortgage payment for 6 months because he was bedridden and disabled from it. And the loan company wouldn't buy it. I'm not sure that's a full disability. I don't know. Is it? I've had TMJ really through my life.
It can be.
Really? Wow. There you
go. I've had maybe 2,000 patients over the years. And I remember back a patient who came in, and I asked her, you could just tell she was in pain, constant pain, headaches, migraines. Her jaw, she couldn't open wide enough to bite into a hamburger. She just was constantly in pain. And I said, in a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being what you think heaven would be like, and 10, you want to put a gun to your head, where are you? And she said, I'm 9.5.
Holy crap.
Her eyes were dark, droopy, or she looked like she was in pain all the time. And she had, come to find out, she had 9 jaw surgeries by an oral surgeon to correct her TMJ. And when I took the panographic x-ray, I noticed that she did not have a ball and socket. She had splinters and a socket. And so that was why it was so painful. I had to send her for 2 more jaw surgeries to have her jaw joint replaced. There was a person in Chicago that had the only FDA approved jaw replacement.
Holy crap.
And then I had to rebuild all of her teeth. I had to crown all of her teeth in her physiologic jaw position. And when we were all done, I asked her, now, where are you, 0 to 10? And she said 2. And I was overjoyed because, 11 jaw surgeries, your muscles don't even work right, And to get them to a point where she was happy, she didn't look like she was, just chronic pain. And so, I mean, this is what you deal with. It takes over your whole body.
So is my jawline from TMJ, is this what contributes to my resting bitch face everyone tells me I have?
That could be one of the factors, one of the diagnosing factors,
There you go. How many people in America have TMJ? How prevalent is that?
Well, there's been estimated that there's 25 million people that have migraines.
Wow.
And migraines are kind of a catch-all phrase. Any chronic headache that lasts a long time and recurring a lot, people throw in migraines. There's lots of different headaches. And when your jaw isn't in the right position, it creates fatigue in your muscles. It creates lactic acid that overworks your muscles, and you have these migraines. So 95% of all migraines also have a jaw problem. So if you take those 25 million, that 95%, those people are going to need to have their jaw put in physiologic jaw position as well. So
Wow.
there's a lot of people that have TMJ.
Yeah, I had it. I think it was really bad in my 30s or 40s, and it would pop. I could pop it, and I'd be, I just sit and pop it. I do have what's the ringing in the ears thing?
That's tinnitus.
Tinnitus, and I have it really bad in that right ear where the TMJ seems to be offset in my right side. Are those two connected at all? And
Those are the symptoms.
really?
Ringing in your ear, popping and clicking,
Oh, wow.
tingling of the fingers, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain. It can even cause you to lean a different way, get out of balance, and cause your feet to hurt. So
'Cause you're, off of your
TMJ can
thing, huh?
hurt you from the top of your head
Wow.
to the bottom of your feet.
Maybe you just solved what's always been wrong with me, at least physically. My psychologist says there's no help for me mentally, but that's a different story. That's a
Yeah, I'm
different
not that
doctor.
kind of doctor.
I'm not that kind of doctor. So does this mouth guard, what does it help? It clearly it helps TMJ. What are some of the different applications for people out there that might be suffering from some sort of ailment that it can help them with?
Well, TMJ is a 24-hour a day malady. So,
Mhm.
in order to diagnose and treat it and correct it permanently, you have to treat it 24 hours a day. So, the PowerPlus Mouthguard, although you could wear it 24 hours a day, what you need is a hard plastic mouth appliance,
Mhm.
because you want to mimic your teeth so that your brain can function correctly in balancing out your bite with proprioception and pressure feedback. And so you need that hard plastic. So that we call that an orthotic. And
Wow.
so, kind of like if you need an orthotics for your feet, same thing with your jaw. If your jaw's not in the right
Oh.
position,
Oh,
then
wow.
you're gonna need to, let's say, correct the deficiency that you have. So one of the main problems with TMJ is that you overclose your jaw. You're biting down too far. So if you look at yourself and grit your teeth in the mirror, normal jaw relationship should be just a millimeter overlap and a millimeter space in between. But when you can't see your lower teeth, your muscles are over contracted, and it's a known phenomenon that when you overwork your muscles, they're going to hurt. And so
Yeah.
when you're doing that 24 hours a day, it's going to hurt a lot and sometimes spin you off into a very painful episode of migraines. So,
Hmm.
but that's TMJ. So when you play sports, you still need your physiologic jaw position, and you get some great benefits when you use physiologic jaw position to play sports.
And so there was something I introduced in your bio too, where it can help save you from concussions and different things and hits and stuff you might take in
Turns out,
sports.
it turns out that physiologic jaw position is really important,
Mhm.
because physiologic jaw position. Again, you're going to envision the socket and the ball of the jaw,
Mhm.
and when you're open too wide, it's going to roll your ball up against the front part of your skull, and like a electric conduit, it's going to drag that g-force up to your brain. And conversely, if you're over close, it's going to roll it back up against the skull in the back and do the same thing. So when it's right in the center, that g-force can't jump the gap, and so it has to be dissipated away from your brain. And what we've discovered is that when you have a blow to the head, jaw, chin, there's a 0.2% chance of having a concussion, which is almost
Really?
zero.
Wow.
That
That's
was
pretty amazing.
18-year study so far.
Mhm.
We've had 9 concussions with PowerPlus Mouthguard and 7,000 athletes. So that's 0.22%. So that's number one.
Mhm.
And number two is when your nerve endings go to your muscles, and it's called a synapse, where they come together and direct your muscles to contract. There's a certain percentage, and there was a study done at Wayne State University, biomedical engineering. They showed a 16.8% increase in strength immediately when your jaw goes into its physiologic jaw position.
Huh.
So in other words, you can go to the bench press, put on your max, add 17% to it, and you can lift it right away.
Wow. That's
You can
what I
run.
need.
Yeah,
Go to the
that
gym
gives
and
you great speaking ability.
So how do you know if your jaw's in the right physio position? How do you know if you're doing it right?
Well, there's a measurement, and so when you order your PowerPlus Mouthguard, there's a little gauge, and there's a target number of when you measure your gum on the top to the gum on the bottom when your teeth are clenched. And so if you fall within this red box, you're too far over closed. Your jaw's too far over closed, and so you're getting disruption to your muscle fibers. If you're in the blue box, you don't have as much disruption. But if you take a bell curve of all the athletes, everybody, the middle is the measurement is 15 millimeters. So what you want is that relationship where there's a 1 millimeter overlap, 1 millimeter over jet. In other words, the space in between there. That's a perfect bite. And so that's the easiest way to determine if you can get into physiologic jaw position. It's just to measure. It's called your vertical dimension. When you gum to gum, the perfect number is 19. So that's how you can really tell. And then, of course, if you are in a bad bite, then it's all relative. So the deeper your bite is, the more weak you are. The most improved strength increase I ever have seen was in a guy that had a really bad bite, and he increased his strength by 62%.
Really? 62%?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's a lot.
That's probably the whole reason I can't lift more than 15 pounds at the gym.
Well, if you put yourself in a PowerPlus Mouthguard, then went to the gym, you'd be able to lift 25 pounds.
Wow. Now you can tell that just by looking at my jaw?
Yeah, that's the cool thing, is that I've actually worked
I've been
with
doing this for a long time.
teams, and I can look at their player that they want to acquire, and I can say, no, that guy's
jaw's all messed up.
He's gonna have a problem. One interesting thing that I learned when I was going through the research and development is that there was a study done at Notre Dame on some football players, and way back in 1980, they didn't really know about physiologic jaw position, but there was an appliance that they called a MORA, which stands for mandibular repositioning appliance. And they found that three things occurred when a person wore a MORA. They had increased strength, increased stamina, and less knee injuries. Now that really shocked me that at the time, back in 2000, I thought, how could a mouth guard help you have less knee injuries? What would that have to do? But it's all about muscular balance. And when all your muscles are balanced and functioning at 100%, you can take more punishment. You can, you're lined up. You function better. And this is what really kind of spurred me on to say, I've got to find out more about this physiologic jaw position and what it can do.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Has anyone ever healed their tinnitus? Tinnitus?
Yes, actually, yes,
jaw
because again, your ear, your ear opening is like right here by the socket, and the ball and the socket are right there. So when your joint swells up because it's being functioning in the wrong position, it will inflame your ear and cause you to have that ringing sound. So I have had many cases where once we got it corrected, once we got them back into physiologic jaw position, the tinnitus or tinnitus disappeared. Also, popping and clicking. I was taught in dental school that you could never cure TMJ, and that it was what it was, and if you could get a bite appliance, a night guard, and it helped, great. If it doesn't, there's nothing you can do. And so that was another factor that got me to pursue something different, because that's just not how I think. I can't be your doctor and say, well, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
that kind of thing.
I'm glad you're making these innovations. So I'm looking at your website, and there's several different things in your shop that people can get. It looks like there's a PowerPlus Mouthguard. It's kind of a normal standard one. And then there's the PowerPlus Elite, the Max Professional, and the PowerPlus Sleep appliance. Tell us what these different things are and what they do, please.
Well, sleep appliance is, I made it because, again, this physiologic jaw position is really important. But the thing that you need in sleep appliance is you need to bring your jaw forward, and that's really important. So if you and I were out walking down the street and you collapsed and weren't breathing, and I needed to help you, what would I do? I wouldn't pull out a CPAP machine that I had in a suitcase. I would move your jaw forward, and I'd tip your head back so your airway would be open. And that's what you need in sleep apnea, because your airway closes and you can't breathe in. You stop breathing, and your brain doesn't like that, so it violently causes you to move so that you open your airway and snort and snore and make foul noises.
Yeah.
Because of that. But if you can bring your jaw forward, you can sleep normally. And this is what the CPAP machine does, basically, with positive air. It's a air pressurized device that actually blows open your airway every time you're respirating. It just blows air, close, blows air, close. So that's why it helps. But you're tethered to this machine. And
Darth Vader mask, I like to call it.
Right, but if you just bring your jaw forward, you can breathe normally. So I thought it logical for me to make an appliance that people can try and use. Sometimes if you're way overweight or other anatomical factors, moving your jaw forward doesn't always help, but it can, and it cuts the cost down, and it's a lot easier to put something in your pocket and fly to Paris than have to carry an extra suitcase with your CPAP machine.
Oh yeah, I mean, my mom's got a CPAP, and I don't know that she sleeps any better, and it's wearing the mask, and I can't sleep that way. Now, it appears to me that it's customized to your teeth pattern, all of these different ones except for the first two.
The first one is the one that I designed so that any person, any kid could order one, follow the fitting instructions, and do it at home. They didn't have to have a dentist or a professional do it for them. And this is what it looks like. It comes in this box. It has 3 parts to it. It has the shell. It has, you can see probably faintly, this little horseshoe shaped clear mechanism. You need extra material. If your bite is over close, you're going to need extra material, so you have to add that in. And then this is your measuring gauge. So if you just follow the instructions, if you need the material, you put it in, you warm it up, and you take it out when it's warm. You put it on your lower teeth. You bring your lips together like you're going to kiss your mom and swallow 5 times. And that's the key. We don't want to know where you can bite or how hard you can bite. We don't want you to do that. We want your autonomic or involuntary nervous system to take over and swallow. And you don't control your swallowing muscles. You don't even think about it. You just do it. And so when you swallow, your jaw gets positioned in all angles into your physiologic jaw position. And that's how it works. Once it cools down, now you're always in that position when you're playing your sport or doing any physical activity. And you're never out of it. You're always in that physiologic jaw position. So that one is something that everybody can do. The other ones are for higher end athletes, higher levels. They're more custom. They're made in a pressure machine, so it fits you perfectly. It's very comfortable, very nice, and it's thinner, but it takes more effort and time to make. The Max Pro is one that I make for a professional athlete that it's more similar to a TMJ appliance, but it is absolutely precise. I have to meet with you. I have to run you through 3 hours of diagnosis. I got to use a 3D printer to print it up and make it fit perfectly. But it is awesome what it does for you, because it can give you all of your strength that you have in your body, and there's no blockage.
Wow. This is pretty amazing stuff. I never really knew it was that big of a deal, but evidently it is. And being able to prevent, concussions. So, should anybody with kids that are starting into sports and stuff be picking up at least those entry level things so they can, keep from getting concussions at a young age?
Everyone should. This isn't, you look like you're my same age. So
55?
I'm 65. So
Oh,
when I got a phone call when I was 15, I didn't reach in my pocket and pull out my iPhone. I went to the wall and I picked up the phone. It was tethered by a long cord, and I stood there and talked with you until I was done, and then I had to hang it back up. And even better yet, my grandmother lived on a farm in southern Idaho, and she had a party line. So
yeah, I remember.
I'd have to call her, and then somebody else was already talking. So I had to sit there and listen to them talk and wait until they were done before my grandma could pick up. So now, I mean, this is what we're talking about with mouth guards. 1950s.
Wow.
They had this mouth guard, and it did protect you from banging your teeth together. But I mean, they had no face mask. They had no protection. And this is what we have now. 2023, we have this 1950s mouth guard, and we think it's the perfect mouth guard. And really, it hurts you. It makes it makes your jaw not in the right position. So it hurts you by performance. You're not as strong. You're weak. You get tired. You get want to come out of the game because you're so tired. It puts your jaw in a position that balances or sends G forces to your brain. So my answer is get out of the 50s. And
the 50s, damn it. I wasn't even born in the 50s, but I'll try.
It's just every mouth guard out there, and it doesn't matter if they're the pacifier, which is absolutely the worst mouth guard anybody could ever wear, because all it is a wafer, and it's a wafer that's made by a company, and it's all the same thickness for every person. And we know that every person is different. Every person has a different anatomy. So you have this wafer that it has fangs on it, or you can put diamonds on it or whatever. But usually you end up sitting on the bench looking at the diamonds in your pacifier mouth guard because you got a concussion and you can't play.
Yeah,
so
A concussion will mess you up.
Every person. I mean, do you want to? I went to a combine and I took 5 guys out of the combine, and I tested one guy to do the broad jump, and he jumped 7 more inches.
Really?
With his PowerPlus Mouthguard. I took a guy and he was doing the bench press. It's 250 pounds. You do as many as you can. He did 10 more than he'd ever done. Another guy jumped an inch and a half higher in the vertical jump, and the last guy ran the 40 2/10 faster than he had ever run it before. And that's because he's balanced. He's got 16.8% increase in strength. Who knows? He may have had 25% because of his bite. All these things that we don't even know are there as long as we get ourselves corrected. And that's really the whole crux of the matter. I got a guy who mows his lawn with it. He's got 2 acres. He likes to do it for exercise. And he says, I don't get tired anymore mowing my lawn like I used to. I used to go mow my lawn and then go take a nap because I was so tired after I did it. Now I can go golfing.
Well, that's my question for you. I mean, if you're like a normal person, you know, I have TMJ, and probably sleep apnea. I get told that a lot. But you know, I don't play any heavy duty sports. I'm 55, man. I'm not looking to get a concussion. I've already got a brain damage as it is. So, I mean, is this something that I would need to wear like a couple hours a day to correct, or do I need to wear it 24/7? Or
when we're talking about TMJ, your bite is 24/7. So the TMJ appliance that we use to test and find your physiologic jaw position, you are required to wear it 24/7, except when you eat or brush your teeth. But getting back to your question, there's a lot of people who ride bikes, who mountain bike, who road bike, that are our age, that play, you know, recreational basketball, or some guys play hockey at the local ice rink. All of these need PowerPlus Mouthguard technology. You'll play better. You'll be safer. I mean, you can get a concussion. You can get a concussion walking out and slipping on your stoop in the wintertime.
Sure.
You know, that doesn't mean you should, you know, have a PowerPlus Mouthguard. If you had to go out and get your paper, you better put your mouthguard in. You know, but the point is, yeah, we're not Tom Brady, but we do stuff. We horse around. We ride bikes. And it would benefit you if you do those types of things. Play softball, you know.
There you go. And so people can order these off your website, and I guess just the one, they've got to come visit with you, the Ultra Pro one,
the Max Pro. I have to meet with you. The middle one, I made it so that I could send you a kit. And you can take your own molds and they send them back to me, and then I can fabricate it and send it back to you. The important thing about that one is that although it's not difficult, you do have to mix the molding material the right way so that you can give me the correct, accurate mold of your jaw. If you don't mix it right, it'll come back to me, and I won't be able to use it. And I won't be able to use it because it distorts, and your jaw will be distorted and it won't fit.
Yeah, that'll end up be worse off, right?
I have a video, and I show you how to do it. And if you follow the video, it's not difficult. You can teach a monkey to do it.
That's what my second grade teacher told me, but I still flunked second grade. So there's that.
Well, you should have eaten more bananas then.
Yeah, that's probably half the problem right there. That, and I was flinging my shit. So there you go. When have we talked about that's important about the product you've innovated and offer people?
Are you asking how much it costs, or?
I mean, if you want to tell us how much it costs, yeah. I mean,
well, you can go on the website.
What else have we covered? Yeah.
Yeah. The important thing, and I want people to understand, is that um, this is a new discovery in body physiology and neurophysiology. And it's a true body mechanism and a true principle that we did not understand until around the year 2000. And I'll just give you an example of really how I was energized into really kind of developing this technology and finding out exactly how it worked. Um, I had about 5 really debilitated TMJ patients. They'd been to every doctor. Nobody could help them. And I couldn't help them with what I was taught in dental school. It was frustrating. But I so happened to run across a gentleman, a dentist. He'd been
Mhm.
working on TMJ for 35 years, solely doing TMJ. He was in Seattle. He went to all the dentists in Seattle and said, I don't want your patients. I don't want to do general dentistry. I just want to improve the treatment for TMJ. So send me all of your bad TMJ patients, and I'll send them back to you when I'm done with them. And he would tell the patients, I won't hurt you in any way, but you got to do exactly what I say. And he basically discovered the mechanism behind TMJ. And so I went to him. I learned from him. I came back. I cured those 5 people, and uh, I come from a physiologic family. My dad was an exercise physiologist. He was a sports nut, and so were we. And so our police chief and fire chief here in Traverse City got on the USA team
Oh,
of
wow.
powerlifting, and he was 65 years old, so he's in the 65 and older
Holy crap.
category, and he lifted to win the national championship for that age group. He lifted 398 pounds on the bench press, and of course, up here in a small town, they wrote an article in the paper, and he said in there, "I want to go to Prague, where the international competition is, in 6 weeks, and I want to break the world record, which is 435 pounds. And I've never done that ever. I've never lifted that more than 398." And so being me, I said, I can get this guy. All these patients I worked with keep telling me they're stronger. So I'm going to have faith in this mechanism, which I know is a true principle. I just can't prove it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to call him up. So I looked in the white pages and I called him up, and I said, I don't want you to think I'm a quack doctor or anything, but I can get you your world record tonight. And he's like, okay. And what do I got to do? I said, you got to come over here, and I got to make you a quick and dirty mouth guard, and then you got to go do your workout and tell me what happens. And I'm going to say that from what I know, you can probably lift 25% more, which would put you at 480. And
Oh, wow.
he was like all over it. So he came over. I made it. His teeth were worse than I thought they were. I looked him up and I saw his face, and I said, "Oh, this is the perfect specimen." So I made him a mouth guard. He went there. Sure enough, uh, when he was done, he called me and left me a message I couldn't understand, but I could tell he was just so excited. I called him back. He said he lifted 455 pounds and quit
Holy
because he thought
crap.
it was going to get hurt. But he said, I can do more. I know I can do more. And so I said, well, what I'd like you to do is just keep track. I know you guys keep logs of what you did each day and that kind of thing. I just like to have that for my data. And so over the next 6 weeks before Prague, he got up to 525.
Holy
He went
crap.
over to Prague, broke the world record at 455, and held that record for 10 years until he
Wow.
was 75 years old.
All with
So
just getting your mouth in the right position.
I knew that from that, I knew that it was a correct principle, and I just needed to figure out how to make it so that everybody could harness that on their own body. And that's kind of the generation of how it happened over all the time that I've been doing it.
There you go. Well, give us your final pitch out as we go out to tell people how to pick up your services and your products and order them up online.
You can go on to PowerPlusMouthguard.com and you can find all the useful information that you need. You can purchase a mouth appliance for you. And one thing I just really want to emphasize is if you're a parent and you put your child athlete in their physiologic jaw position, they have a 99.8% chance of not getting a concussion, and there are 10,800 concussions that happen every day. So your child will not be one of those concussion patients. So this is a new technology. It's so important. Every parent needs to know this.
Most definitely. And I'm glad we've had you on to educate people. Now you've got me thinking about my TMJ and my tinnitus and other things and my brain damage, but that's probably for something else. Thank you very much, Dr. Michael Hutchison, from being on the show with us today. Did we get your .com one this time? Let's get a plug-in for that.
PowerPlusMouthguard.com.
There you go. And I imagine they can reach out to you if they have questions and all that good stuff as well.
Absolutely. You can, the email address is powerplusmouthguard@gmail.com. And I answer them all and answer every question I can.
There you go. Oh, thank you very much for coming on, Doctor. Thanks for for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss, and Chris Voss 1 on the Tickety Talkety. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.